Good afternoon, all of you. So let's start today's briefing session and try to understand that what the market is telling us. So here we are again. My name is Anurag. I'm the Senior Client Success and Learning Manager at BMN Capital. And over here, my responsibility is to guide you through the latest development and what are the skill sets and knowledge you require to win the game of trading. So let's start with our dedicated black report, in which we try to cover all the important market segments along with their interpretations and what are the call to actions which we have after analyzing and processing the informations which we are getting from the market. I hope my screen and my audible is very loud and clear. So if you guys facing any issue, okay. Thank you for confirmation. So now start with the section one. As you all know that we have six sections in this report. So we are not going to waste too much time because you'll get the access to this report, right? In a detail. Just what interesting I find and what is my point of view in that news, that is the only thing which I'm going to deliver it to you over the briefing, right? So let's start and read this executive summary to understand the big picture. So on Thursday, 12th of March, opens with the Iran-US-Israel war entering its 13th day, and the situation has materially escalated overnight. We have a lot of news coming that Iran is still retaliating to the attacks which happens right now. The Iranian drone strikes near the Dubai International Airport late Wednesday, wounding four people and briefly disrupting the airspace around the world's busiest international travel hub. Iran's military commander has now announced it will begin targeting banks and financial institutions across the Middle East. This is a biggest development which is coming, and if this happens, there will be disaster in market because Dubai is a financial hub, including our offices, right? And lot of big brokers' offices, and especially the gold, right? Everything is under control, and we have got few news that lot of people in Dubai they are selling their physical gold right now. So yes, there is tension which is escalating into the Middle East, and that will have a tremendous impact on the market. Second important news which we have discussed yesterday is the G7 meeting, which is the emergency energy meeting, right? We need to study and understand this news because this is going to impact. Yesterday, I booked losses in gold and silver, but I booked a very huge profit in the oil, right? Just because of this news. So right now, the oil is the new gold. We can call it the black gold. So try to put your focus on oil, and from the scope of oil, you need to see gold, silver, and other assets. So the IEA confirmed that IEA, those who don't know, is the International Energy Agency, right? It is one of the institutions who you tend to do research, report, design the financial benchmarks, and every regulatory work is done by. And this is an association which is run or controlled by the US. So confirm that the historic 400 million barrel emergency oil reserve release on Wednesday, right? So previously, when we had the Russia-Ukraine war, they have done it. So around 188 million barrels from the strategic reserve, right? And this is the second time, and see the amount which they are releasing right now, it's 400 million barrels, right? From the strategic reserve which a country maintain for scenarios like war and all, right? So for emergency, they design this, and from there they are selling the oil, right? Lot of outcome can be taken from this news, that whether they have bought it at a very lower price at that point of time, and right now they are getting oil at a very good price. So instead of holding that oil, they are selling that oil, right? And still, because of the Venezuela, US have control over the oil, right? So they can maintain their reserve later on. So this might be one strategic move. Another, seriously, there is a tension, and because of the supply disruption in the Strait of Hormuz, right? They are uh, selling this oil, and especially they are selling this oil to the European countries, right? So this is one important news, and still lot of developments are happening around oil prices. Then we have seen the February CPI data, which came exactly as expected, which is 2.4%, and we'll see that market still, especially the gold and silver prices are still trading in a sideways range, which we have marked, which we'll discuss later when we discuss the technical setups, right? Now, over here, just for your information, I've given the asset classes, the important levels, what kind of change we have seen into the prices of this asset classes, right? What our experts biasness, especially the research team biasness, right? And what are the key drivers behind, right? So what is the rationale behind that biasness, right? So like for gold, if prices went below the 5160 mark, right, there is a dipping, right? So buy on dips would be the strategy. Key driver are geopolitical news and the today Fed chair uncertainty, because we have a lot of events, right? So go through it. So I'm not discussing this because we need to cover the top 10 most important news for today. So here comes our top 10 market moving developments for the 12th of March. Number one, the Iranian drone strikes near Dubai International Airport, which we have covered, right? Why it matters, this attack signals Iran is now willing to strike civilians and commercial infrastructure. This is a news which is indicating that there will be an escalation, right? And new countries are entering. If there is a strike on Middle East is also going to give the answers to that strikes. That is the scenario where the war is going to escalate, right? Then oil prices will spike and then the gold will react, right? Still gold is not reacting to anything, so we've been watching this thing. Second, IEA confirms historic 400 million barrel oil reserve release. So this is bad for oil prices because there is supply, right? But to complete this supply, there are a lot of geopolitical barriers which they need to cross, right? And if this happens, then there will be turbulence, right? Then comes to the February CPI, which we have discussed, right? So it's a pre-war baseline set, right? Still, the inflation is not reacting when the oil prices are also rising, right? And this is the data of US, right? And US have a very huge strategic reserve, right? They can export their oil also, and for their domestic use also, they have a lot of reserves, right? And now they have Venezuela also. Then the Kevin Walsh, the new Fed chair, right? Faces perfect stagflation storm. Stagflation is a situation when all of a sudden inflation rises and on the next reading, all of a sudden inflation went in negative or below number. So there are a lot of zigzag movement. This is a uh, best example to give you that what stagflation is, right? We all know that there is one animal stag and he like to hop, right? Jump very fast and then again came down. Same kind of movement we'll see into the labor market data, inflation, retail sales, right? So it's very hard to gauge whether the inflation is rising or not. It's very hard to identify that what is the reason behind the inflation, whether it's a cost pull inflation, demand pull inflation, right? So this will be a more, so it's a kind of nightmare, right? It's very hard for any economist to analyze that what exactly happening, right? So this is the very, very bad time for retail traders who don't know, don't understand the macroeconomic situation, and they are just trading on the basis of the technical charts, right? So they see that from wherever they are taking the trades, from there itself market take a U-turn, hit the stop losses, right? When they take a sell, then again market went up. So this kind of movement has happened when there is stagflation. Then the fifth news is the Strait of Hormuz, right? Traffic at 10%, right, which is again a pre-war levels, but there are a lot of negotiations are going on that few countries are getting access to pass the Strait of Hormuz, especially the Chinese vessels. So we need to see, but yes, other parties are also like we have few ships from the Saudi Arabia which have been attacked in the Strait of Hormuz, and that ship have been sunk, and I think 20 casualties happens, right? So lot of thing is happening in this, so we need to see this news also. So the latest things I have covered over here, right? What action you need to take, I've given over here, right? Then comes to the US jobless claim data, which is going to be released today at 4:30 p.m. So the initial jobless claim, So we have seen the CPI data is normal. We have seen the NFP data shows a very negative trend. So the US jobless claim should come at a higher number. If this is not coming, that means all the data which we are getting from the US, high probability it is fabricated. So we can't rely on that. We need to connect other datas to understand the real story, right? So this is the thing. Although let's see what is the consensus and what are the expectation of the market. So consensus is approximately 215,000, right, which is modestly higher than the prior 213 reading. Context is critical. February NFP printed a negative 92,000 jobs, right? The third contraction in 5 months, right? With unemployment rising to 4.4%. Very, very bad sign for the USD and very, very good news for the gold. But although gold is not reacting, still it is gaining strength, right? Accumulating strength. And soon there will be a tremendous move coming into the gold prices, right? So if you're getting consecutive losses also, then don't lose hope. Soon you'll get a very good unidirectional move in gold, right? Then comes to the US 30-year Treasury bond auctions. I have told this lot of time that if you're trading into the gold, you need to see the bond market also. Bond market is very important. From bond market are the pulse of the market, right? So just by analyzing the pulse, you can tell whether the market is in a good health or in a bad health, and risk off, risk on, what kind of sentiment is prevailing, and accordingly you can make changes in your trading style or approach. So the US Treasury will sell 22 billion of 30-year bonds today, right? So it's a fresh auction, and we need to see that how much interest they are giving on a 30-year basis, right? So if there is a very tremendous spike, then there will be a surprise, right? Otherwise there will be very minute basis point of increase into this. But yes, if there is an increase, that is an indication that on a longer term period, the buyers of the treasury bonds, those who are the central banks, especially, right? They have faith in the US economy, right? And that is the reason they are investing their money, deploying their money for the next 30 years, right? So we need to see this. If this comes, it will be a very, very positive development for the dollar, and it is a very strong indication to this war scenario also, that still people have a very strong faith in the US and its economy. A weak 30-year bond auction, if in these auctions they don't get that much bid, then would signal foreign and institutional demand for long dated US debt is waning, pushing yields higher and dollar weaker in the short term. And if dollar is getting weaker, safe haven demand or gold will act as a hedge against inflation. This sentiment is going to be very stronger into the market, and it will push the prices upwards. Then comes our favorite, that is the gold, which is trading at 5160 level, dipping from the highs, all-time high of 5595 in sight, and still there is very big low which not been taken, and still market is moving sideways. I don't know from where sellers are pushing the prices downwards, but still the buyers are. A lot of people are waiting for the dips, and as soon as they get a dip on a intraday charts, they start taking the buy, and that is the reason we are not seeing a continuous downfall into the prices, which is an indication that still the buyers or the bullish sentiments are very, very strong for gold. Now, come on to the next section, that is the RBA rate decision, which is going to happen on Monday, 17th of March. So this will be a very important data, right? Because a lot of hawkish news is coming that they are going to increase the interest rates, right? A confirmed RBA hike would be the first rate increase in this cycle and would cement Australia. And if one central banks do this, right? And this is a very big major economy. By looking to this, lot of other banks also started. Like if I talk about India, India see US first, right? What US is doing, US Fed is doing, and accordingly they decide their policy. So for every time, whenever any central bank want to decide their policy, they need to look into the West, right? That what the West is doing, right? So there is an impact. Still, we are not that much self-reliant to decide on policy on our own. We have to look into the uh, west, right? So we need to see this. So if there is a spike, so again the Australian pairs are going to get rise, and JPY is getting weaker, and odd JPY is a very good pair we have discussed yesterday, and that pair have given a tremendous move towards the upside, right? Then come to the last section, that is the Bitcoin and the crypto. Macro stagflation risk versus the structural bull market, right? So we have seen that the prices are kind of forming a bottom and they are getting momentum towards the upside. On the other hand, we are facing a global energy crisis right now. So we need to see this. Crypto sits at the intersection of two opposing forces. One is the stagflation risk from the oil, right? Reduces speculative appetite equals to bearish pressure. Then the rate cut expectations from the weak labor market. So the bond yields and all are going to impact. So in that case, crypto looks more safer, right? So this is going to be happen, right? And that will be the bullish impulse for the Bitcoin prices. Now, this is the full event calendar, right? According to the Dubai timing. So this is Thursday. These are the important data. So at 4:30 p.m., we have a lot of data which is going to impact the market. The most important one is the US initial jobless claim, which we are expecting to come lesser, right? If it comes positive, that will be a surprise, and that is an indication that there is a very big anomaly between the NFP data and the initial jobless claim data, right? If US government is not creating that much job, high probability that there are a lot of people who have filed this insurance, this claim, right, to get new job, right, which is the initial jobless claims, right? Then at 6 p.m. we have the US 30-year. So this is the second one. And then we have the ongoing war developments, right? And then the Strait of Hormuz. These are the geopolitical events which are continuously going to impact the market symmetry. Next day, if you are holding any position, so this will be the time stamps on which you have to keep an keen eye. Until this timestamp you can hold your positions, right? Which are the UK industrial production and plus the trade balance. Because of the energy crisis, this is going to be a very important data. Then the Eurozone industrial, so lot of industrial data. Then we have the US GDP quarter 4 results, right? So this is the second estimates. Then we have the US personal income, Canada employment report, Canada manufacturing sales, right? So tomorrow's data is more related to the manufacturing from the economical point of view is very important. Then we have the job of opening, right? Then these are the data from 16 to 20 March. So just to give you an idea that what are the extreme data points and what are the moderate data points. So I've given over here, right? Now moving on to the asset by asset strategies for all the markets. That what if you are intraday trader, what you need to do, and if you are short-term trader, what you need to do, right? Just for your reference, because we are going to discuss everything on the chart, right? So for the intraday strategy, I've given that buy on dips would be the good strategy, right? Same is the case with silver and crude oil, right? And for me, first chart which I'm going to see into the market is the crude oil chart, and then I try to see or connect everything with the crude oil, right? If crude oil is going up, which currency pairs are going down, which assets are going down, which assets are gaining momentum towards the upside, and accordingly, this crude oil would be my theme, right? Then Forex, indices, US bonds, everything is given. So I'm not wasting time on discussing this, right? And then in the next section, which is the section number 5, it's the complete trading game plan for today. That is Thursday, right? So what you need to do, from which time you need to be get active, right? So first of all, I'm your alarm, and I have already done this by making or conducting this webinar. Now I've given this step that what time to react, because 4:30 is the time from where we are going to see a lot of good movement happening into the market, and that is the moment which we want to catch and make few dollars, right? So these are the things which I've discussed in detail, what to do, right? As a trader, what you need to do, what you need to see. If you see this, what it is telling to you, right? Everything is given, right? In the next section, that is the key risk and the time zone disclaimer, right? So what are the risk factors, right? So I've given, and how the market is going to be impacted by these things, right? So just to give you an idea that do your risk management part and the money management part very cautiously, because I've given everything over here, right? And just a quick reference for the your time because of the Dubai traders. Lot of people are from different time zones, so just for them, I've given the offset timing according to the Dubai timing, right? So that's all from my side from the black report. Now let's move on to the next section of the of our report, that is the technical chart. So just give me a minute. Let me share my chart. So here is my chart, and I hope you guys can see my chart, right? So this is the channel which I'm talking about, and this is a very tremendous sideways movement, right? 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day, 6 days, 7 days are complete, and still the market is moving in a sideways range. This is a H1 chart, and this is the zone which I'm talking about. And if you want to know more into detail, so I have prepared one report and share it on my social media along with the trading strategy, that what is the right approach in the market to take the trade. So the crux of that report is that wait for the prices to come at this key reversal points, key important areas, right, which I've mentioned over here, and wait whether how the price is reacting. You have to see the price action at this point of time, right? And you'll get a very good trading opportunity. Like over here, the rejection probability is very high, I've given, and see the prices are getting rejected. But this is not the entry confirmation. We need to wait for the next candle, right? At least we have a two strong, three strong buyers, right? This is a three white soldiers. So I want at least next two candles to be red in color, which is bearish, and successfully renew the low of this candle, right? Once this happens, then it will be a good thing. Second thing which I have to see, that see this is a high point, this is a high point, and see this is a high point, but it is extremely high, which is an indication that buyers have pushed too much, right? High probability of correction is there into the pages, but it is not a sell call, it is a correction. Then again buyers will try to go up. If that try, right, failed, then it is a clear direction that gold is going to fall, right? Otherwise high chances that from after taking the correction, prices again gain momentum for the upside, and change the course towards the upside, right? And if prices goes up, so first immediate resistance is at 5191, then 5228 and 52230, and if they clear this fair value gap which already mitigated right now, then the next order block, right, at the 5290 level is there. Moving on to the next chart, that is the silver, right? So this is silver on a 15-minute time frame, right? And it has started going upwards. See, over here I've used the moving average of 17, right? But over see the RSI. Prices are making a higher high, but over here they have make a higher low formations, which is an indication that the trend is getting weaker, right? It is not a confirmation that we should take a sell call. Second thing which you have to keep in mind, which nobody teaches, right? Which is this, that from where to get the confirmation. So see this candle, right? This candle have breaked the low, right? And I want a candle to give me a close below the low of this candle. If this happens, that candle close would be my entry point, keeping my stop losses here. If prices successfully again push the prices within the range of this candle, which is an indication that whatever stop losses which are there, those who are trading the divergence, their stop losses are resting here. Prices will go up, spike up, hunt all the liquidity. Again, we have a continuation of a divergence. Again, we have a swing point, but here RSI failed to make a higher high formation, and then prices will fall. So trade with cautions because patience is the important key. Now comes our favorite, that is the energy, right? So I've given this projection. This projection has been completed. I booked very good profit. I booked loss in gold and silver, but I booked very good profit, which have covered the losses which I faced in gold and silver just by trading the energy prices. See over here, light green line which I've drawn. This is the current trend of the microstructure which we have seen right now. And again, we have a downward movement, and this candle is pushing upwards. I have taken the previous candles high also. If in the next candles, right, just after 8 minutes, we'll have a new H1 candle, right? And if it continues to go up without any single thought, I'm going to take a buy call for the target of this swing point high, right? And high probability that slowly, right, sluggish movement will be there towards the upside. And then if any news came, right, that they are releasing the ships, right, and they are giving or they are increasing the supply of oil, then there will be a sharp fall into the prices toward the downside, because this zone which I marked with the red is going to act as a strong resistance, right? So we need a very good strong movement toward the upside. But if we have a look on a daily time frame, which is a bigger time frame and which is very important to see, so see this, there is a strong gap up, prices came down, covered the gap up, and then again the price have gaining the momentum. We have seen a very good exhaustion into the candle, and right now the size of candle is not that impressive. We have this fair value gap also, so the probability of a reversal is there, right, on a bigger time frame, right? So remember that if you're taking the buy, keep your target point small, right? As soon as you feel any kind of fear into your heart, that is the calling from your instinct that you should get out of the market. Whatever profit you're getting, just get out of the market, right? Still, there are chances of a zigzag movement is into the technical charts. Now move on to the next, which is the energy. In the natural gas, also I booked very good profit. You can see over here the arrows are given, right? I booked very good profit. So again, the prices went up. Let's have a look on a daily time frame. See, the prices went down. Then again, from this trend line, a very strong bullish candle I formed right now. This is the candle. High probability that this candle would come, and then again there will be a reversal toward the upside. So maybe today I'm not going to get a very good trade into the natural gas, but yes, tomorrow for sure, if prices again continues, right, there will be a fair value gap formation over here, and next day, just by taking the low of this today's candle, if prices again continue to move upwards on a smaller time frame, that is the time to create a buy call into the natural gas. Now move on to the GBP USD, right? So again, a sluggish movement toward the downside, but the market symmetry is looking very promising towards the downside, right? Same is the case with Euro USD. So see, I've been expecting that this is a very strong impulsive movement, and the probability of a reversal from this area, which is the golden ratio, golden retracement level, but failed. Prices went down. That means this thing, this logic which we are applying, right, failed, right? And high probability that prices have made this, right, correction, and then again went down, a minute correction to upwards, then again a continuation toward the downside. Let's have a look on a daily time frame. See, this area has been broken, a lot of consolidation at this price point, right? And see this strong candle formation, although the today's candle is not that much healthy, but yes, the probability that the prices will take this low is very high, right? And there are a lot of lows are remaining. So let me revise my support area from this level to this level, right? Which is 1.1490. That means 1.1500. So almost 40 pips of room is available if I'm taking a sell call after a confirmation. Now moving on to the dollar pairs, let's have a very quick look onto the dollar pairs. So see, this is the trend line. This is the arrow which we have marked yesterday. See, prices try to went above, sweep the liquidity, and then again they are trying to continue towards the upside. It is a bad news for gold, right? So that means the gold upside movement is not going to sustain. But currently, if I see the candles are getting exhausted and fail to renew this high, that is an indication that there is chances of a reversal is very high. So if USD is going to take a reversal, gold is also going to take a reversal. So USD will go down, gold will go up, and then there will again a continuation in dollar, and again a continuation toward the downside in gold. So this is the thing which is being conveyed by the USD CHF pair. Now let's move on to the USD CAD. So see, this is a very good symmetrical triangle formations, right? And this is a pennant formations, also bearish pennant. So the probability of a downside break in USD CAD is quite high, right? So high probability that prices will come down, take the this low, and then again there will be a reversal toward the upside. So one movement which is for aggressive trader toward the downside is very high. For that we need prices to go below the low of this candle, right? Then from here take a buy for the target of this. Then whatever swing has been made, if prices again rejected from this area and again goes down below the swing which have been made over here, right? That is the continuation. You can hold that sell call for a very longer period of time, right? Or according to the pole size, right? This is the pole size. Alternative scenario, that all of a sudden prices makes very strong candle and give me a close below this area, went above, taken the support and then again continue towards same case which we have discussed for the downside, just the opposite case toward the upside, and up movement, retest, and then the continuation, right? So break, retest, continuation. After the continuation, that is our confirmation to take the call. Right now, it's not the right time to take the call. Now, moving on to the next segment of our report, that is the indices and the crypto. So let's have a look on the Wall Street 30. See this area, prices break it. See break, retest, continuation, right? It has been done. Now this low has been broken. Okay. Now same break, retest, and now we need a continuation, right? So the confirmation would come when the prices will come below this level, but we have a gap over here also, right? So with high probability that prices might go more above, right? And then take a reversal toward the downside, right? That will be a short term reversal, because over here, if we see the move, it is very strong. Every candle is renewing its previous high, which is an indication of a strong build up in a trend, right? Which is happening towards the upside, right? But yes, the trend is toward the downside. Let me draw the trend line. So this would be my trend line, right? So this had been broken. Now I'm waiting for a retest. And if again they continue, so from here I take a buy call. And if they get rejected, try to go up, and again they went down, whatever swings they have made, and again came back within below this trend line, then it will be a sell call, right? And the geopolitical events and the macro data is suggesting a sell, right? So have patience and wait for a very good reversal, right? Reversal means at least you need two consecutive candles towards the sell side, right? Red candles which renew their previous low, then it will be a confirmation to take a sell call. Now, in the last, let's have a look on the BTC USD. So, see the prices try to move upwards, but see, this is a high and this is a higher low formations, right? So, if prices fell down and goes below this area, so there is more room available to for crypto prices to go down. And when we have stagflation and the energy crisis, this is going to happen. It will increase the probability of a downside movement. But yes, if in this candle only, because this is a daily candle, if prices surpasses this high, then this will not be a swing point, and then there will be probability that prices will continue to move upwards. So just by looking today's chart, we can see that this is one candle of the day, then the next candle within the range, then this candle within the range. It is an indication that there is a liquidity trap is happening, right? There is no liquidity, and there is liquidity contraction is happening, and after that there will be a breakout into the prices. So yes, maybe today Thursday is not the day to trade crypto, but tomorrow or maybe on Saturday and Sunday there will be a very good breakout of this structure, right? This is also called a two candle breakout, right? Two candle range breakout. That means we have a one candle, two candles within their ranges, right? So this candle within this range and this candle within this range. If this happens, mark this. This is a symmetrical triangle formations also on a smaller time frame, and then we'll have a breakout. So that's all for my side. I've tried to give you all the latest development and connected the dots to give you the more clear picture by reducing all the noises from the market. This is Anurag. I thank you, all of you, for listening to me, for watching this session. I hope this will help you. Till the time, have a great trading day ahead, and remember whatever we have discussed. So, this side, Anurag, I request all of you to kindly leave the meeting room. Thank you. Bye bye. And in the last, those who want the PDF report, which is our black report, kindly visit our official sites. You'll get the access of the PDF file over there. Thank you.